Yo, what's good, everybody? Y'all already know what this is. Conference Finals Reviews. Man, this Conference Finals been surprising, to say the least, especially Boston versus Miami. I was really waiting for the Boston-Miami series to end. As y'all know, that didn't really end that soon as I thought it was going to be, but we're going to get into all that later. We're going to go ahead and cover the Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. I'm not going to lie to you. Los Angeles had their butts handed to them. They got swept. I didn't expect the Los Angeles Lakers to get swept, honestly. I did not expect them to get swept. I thought they were at least going to make this a Game 5, a Game 6, really a Game 7. Because, let's just be honest, the Los Angeles Lakers, their roster had everything. On paper, it was good. Denver Nuggets, they have everything. Of course, I wasn't surprised when the Denver Nuggets won, but it's the way they won that surprised me. I just didn't expect the Denver Nuggets to just have a whole sweep against the Lakers. But they did. But the one thing that the Lakers didn't do, the Lakers didn't really adjust how we all thought they should have. Because we all said that Hachimura, should have been on the 4 the whole time. And then, me personally, D'Angelo Russell wasn't giving you anything. I just feel like he was just a waste of a starting spot. I'd rather put Dennis Rodman, Dennis Schroeder. I'd rather put him in the point guard spot because even if Dennis Schroeder isn't that good on offense, defensively he's better than D'Angelo Russell because the Nuggets, you could tell they just going after the man because D'Angelo Russell can't play defense like that. Jamal is tearing him up. I'm not saying Jamal wasn't going to have like a 30-piece with Dennis. But at least Dennis going to make him work for a lot of those buckets, okay? And then Rue, I ain't going to lie, he was kind of making Jokic earn a lot of those buckets, earn a lot of those plays. So with that being said, if you put Rue on the 5, really, if you put him on the 5 against Jokic and put Anthony Davis on the 4, I truly believe that you probably would have stopped Jokic from passing. I'd rather Jokic score than pass because really what Kevin Garnett said on his show, you got to tire him out. You got to make him work for a lot. And I did say this in my last video, I think. Jokic scored 53 and they lost. So I'd rather Jokic scores so much because it doesn't bring that big of an impact to their team as much as it is passing. But the Lakers, I don't know what they was doing. I don't know what they were doing. Bron, I want to go ahead and say this. Bron, he's good in my book. Bron, I have no problem with Bron. But you're not my GOAT. I'm sorry. You're not number 1 in my opinion. But I have no problem with people saying that he's number 1 in their book. I have no big issue. It's not personal, people. It's just sports at the end of the day. Like, let's be honest. They're not putting money in my pocket right now. But the Lakers got a lot to think about. Bron got a lot to think about. And we'll just see how this offseason goes for them. Meanwhile, Denver, they look like they're ready to face anybody. It didn't matter if Celtics or the Miami Heat won. They don't care. Because at the end of the day, to them, it's just another team that they got to get past to get that ring. But now let's talk about the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami versus Boston. Now this series, it was just crazy. Miami went up 3-0. I thought they were going to sweep the Celtics because the same time they went 3-0 was the same time the Nuggets went 3-0 against the Lakers. I thought it was going to be two series finals sweep. I think that's the first time it's going to be a sweep in the NBA history, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, I thought it was going to be a sweep. Boston, I don't know what happened. I'm not blaming the Miami Heat for letting it get to a game 7 for real. Except for game 6, Max Strus, you messed that up. If you know, you know. I'll get into that a little bit more, but I really just thought like Boston on paper, they just had a better team. They had better players. I just think they just, I don't know, kind of woke up and realized that there's a lot riding on this run for us. And that's why I thought like they were really kind of going to win game 7, because I thought, okay, they finally woke up. They finally realized like it's really just Jimmy Butler and a couple of other players. We got stars. We got elite players. We should be able to outmatch all of them, which they did in 3 straight games. It was 3-0 in the beginning. Then it was 3-3, and we're in a game 7 in the Garden. I did not know. And then I thought it was going to be motivation, too, because I heard, Miami said they had them tickets to Denver before Game 7. I thought, oh, shit. Come on, Celtics. This ain't motivation. I don't know what to tell you. But there was a lot of things about the Celtics that really was exposed. And, oh, yeah, to the Celtics' credit, Jason Tatum did get injured, and that does affect their team since he's the number 1 guy. He's their number 1 guy from what we've seen. And then, I don't know, the Miami Heat defensively and offensively were just killing them. And it got out of hand, and I knew it got out of hand when they started the game 0 for 10. 0 for 10, come on now. And there's nothing wrong with a long ball shooting team, except you're not converting the long ball. And I heard that they were making some good looks, but honestly, I just got done watching Chilltown Hoops, and he said something that I wholeheartedly agree with. And I really thought about this in the 2022 when they went into the finals, but now I feel like Chilltown really just solidified it and made a good take about they need interior scorers. They need interior scorers. Al Horford is not going to be that guy. I'm sorry. Al Horford is a great player, but he's getting older. That's just the facts. And Al Horford can't bang with big centers like he used to. He's just too old, people. And then Robert Williams. I love Robert Williams, but honestly, he's not. He's more of a Ben Wallace kind of player. He's not really an offensive threat. He's more defense, lob city threat, rebounder, that kind of guy. They need more like a traditional big man who can rebound and score, who's really good in the post and everything. And I think the Boston Celtics could get that. They could definitely get that. But we already know Celtics, Brown qualifies for a max deal. Tatum qualifies for a max deal. I really think Brown is going to be on another team next season. I don't see him going for a smaller contract because, Brown, we all see like he wants to be a number 1 option. And I feel like he deserves that opportunity. Plus, anyway, the Celtics, I feel like now they're really going to be considering like the changes they need in order to get over the hump and not only just go to the finals, but win it especially against like the Denver Nuggets. Because let's be honest, Denver Nuggets, this ain't the end of their potential dynasty run because they got a lot of young guys. Miami, even if they don't win the finals or if they do, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, or at least for the next 5 years because Jimmy, he's in his early 30s right now. So they got time. There's time. But the Celtics, the pressure's on. There's a lot of changes that are going to be made, and we're all going to be sitting back, watching with our popcorn, seeing what's the next move, what's the next step. Because there's a lot of teams that are going to be making that move, step, and everything, especially in the draft. But, that's in the future. We're talking about the now. My predictions on the finals, I think Denver is going to win, but I'm not counting out the Miami Heat. I'm not counting them out. Because Jimmy Butler is locked in. The Miami Heat team, they're locked in. Literally, if they get this ring, I'm not gonna. It's not up there with Dirk. I'm sorry, Dirk. That was a whole different run. But I ain't gonna lie. This will be one of the I think one of the best decades runs. I don't think there will be another run like the Miami Heat if they win this finals in the 2020 decade, in the 20s decade. I don't think there will be another run like that in this decade if they win. Even if they don't win, they still had a good run. A bunch of their starting players, a bunch of their players have been playing good, undrafted, two-way. Like, how many teams do you know that accomplish that much with players like that? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, probably nobody. I don't think there, well, I'm not going to say there won't be a team like that anymore, but that's rare. And then it's really about up here mentally, because they know they're counted out. They know that, people count them out. They're going to be counted out in this finals. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I feel like that's what's really going to differentiate the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. Also, I think the X factor for the Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo, because he's got to guard Jokic. And I feel like Adebayo doesn't really trust this game. Chilltown Hoops, shout out to him again. He said that. And now looking at his stacks, they really do line up. I don't think Bam trusts this game, but defensively, I feel like this is the game that he has to be available defensively. And he has to give Jokic a run for his money. Like I said, let Jokic chuck up all the shots. I don't think that's really going to help the Denver Nuggets win. But when he starts passing, when he, he throw the rock, I think we're talking about, it's a different story. And it's going to start with Jokic. Jokic runs everything. So basically what the Miami Heat have to do, they basically got to put the Denver Nuggets in uncomfortable positions. You got to make Jokic score more. You got to make him the scorer. You got to make Jamal Murray playmate like a lot more. MPJ, you got to, I think honestly, you really just have to, no, it's not even get up in his face. I don't think he can really create his shot like that, but I have seen him create his shot. But I feel like if you put pressure on Jamal and Nikola, the rest of the team, the offensively, it's going to stall out. So I'm not really worried about Aaron Gordon for real, because I just think he's not going to step up offensively or defensively for real. KCP, I'm kind of worried about him, but I feel like he starts going when Jamal and Jokic starts going. So I think if you stop Jokic, really, I think you got this run. Is it going to be a dogfight? I believe it. Erik Spoelstra is a great coach. And the Nuggets got a great coach. I forgot who's the name of their coach. I forgot. My apologies. But he's a great coach too. Honestly, it's really going to come down to coaching and adjustments. Erik Spoelstra knows how to make adjustments, and he has already shown that he's a smart coach. That he doesn't care how many stars your team has. We can keep up, especially defensively. But the Nuggets, defensively, they can get there too. But honestly, I feel like they're one of those teams that you gotta get them out of their pace for real. Because once they start going on a run, it's hard to knock them out, to get them out of that zone. So that's really all I have, people. Finals coming up. What day are the finals? I gotta look. Give me a second. June 1st, on my uncle's birthday. Oh, my uncle's definitely finna watch this game. June 1st, first game. Honestly, I feel like this is probably the series that I'm probably going to make videos consecutively and just make my predictions and hope like I get it right instead of doing it afterwards. Because I just don't expect to sweep. I expect maybe 6 games in total. Bare minimum 6. Max 7, of course. But, yeah, may the best team win. And whoever gets this ring, a legacy is going to be made. A legacy is going to be made. No doubt about it. All right, but hope you all have a good day. Stay blessed, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Bye.